For the next three games, the Saints won't have veteran safety Marcus Maye at their disposal. Let's talk about his suspension and what this means for the defense right here on the Straight Up Saints podcast.
You're listening to the Straight Up Saints podcast.
What is up, Who Dat Nation? Welcome back inside another edition of the Straight Up Saints podcast. I'm your host, Chris Rosvoglu, and as always, this program is brought to you by Scott McNair Injury Lawyers. You've been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or hurt offshore. Scott McNair handles it all. You give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. They'll always fight for the win. So let's get into this. Marcus Maye suspended on this Wednesday, 3 games, which is pretty tough to say the least. And there's been conflicting reports. It seems like this is stemming from the February 2021 DUI. So that's before he signed a 3-year deal with the New Orleans Saints, which is pretty unfortunate. But the Saints knew the situation before they signed Marcus Maye. And let's just go with the starters here. This is a tough blow considering that although Marcus Maye is going to be remembered for getting juked by Bryce Young in week 2, he's actually been pretty productive through the first 2 games. He has 13 tackles. He had 7, I believe, on Monday night. Had an interception in week 1 off the tip drill. Also had a sack against the Panthers on Monday night. So he's been productive so far to start this year. I thought last year was very underwhelming for him, but this is a big loss. You lose him for the Packers game, you lose him for the Buccaneers game, and I believe that means they'll lose him for the Patriots game. Just want to check the schedule for a second to double check. So not having him for those 3 games, that obviously is going to be unfortunate, and that means that you put other guys in a position to step up. And that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. I know this league is always about next man up and who will rise to the occasion. But for New Orleans in this particular situation, it is a question mark because safety is not a position of strength, in my opinion, when it comes to depth, right? You look at the other pieces, they're possibly going to be playmaking pieces. We'll see in the next game or so, but we don't know yet. Jordan Howden's a rookie. Lonnie Johnson has not really done much out of special teams so far. JT Gray, special teams is the name of the game when it comes to JT Gray, but in that full-time safety role, we'll see if he can do that. Maybe the Saints decide to get a little creative here and do different looks. Maybe there's more pressure on Tyrann Mathieu's shoulders to compromise for not having Maye for 3 games. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Dennis Allen combats this. And while I think there'll be some concerns, and I know there's definitely frustration to Marcus Maye getting suspended, what I would say for Saints fans is if there's one thing that we're going to trust Dennis Allen on, it's to figure out how to coach this defense to the best of their abilities. And I think he will figure that out, even with Marcus Maye suspended for 3 games. So this is definitely one of those situations that's not ideal. You don't want Marcus Maye to miss time, but we did kind of see this coming, especially a couple weeks ago, I believe, when they gave him 6 months probation. That opened the door for the NFL to discipline him. NFL decides to discipline him now. Saints can get him back by October 9th, which means hopefully when you really hit that important stretch of the season and these games, you start to see the best version of the Saints. Hopefully Maye will be on the field. But for now, like I said, guys, Ugo Amadi might have to step up. JT Gray might have to step up. Jordan Howden, the rookie from Minnesota, will have to step up. There's going to be options out there. And the Saints got to figure it out. And I do think this defense right now is more than capable of holding down the fort. It may look a little different. It may not be ideal, obviously, because like I said, Maye's been productive. And Marcus Maye also hasn't missed a defensive snap in the past 2 games. But yeah, I believe they'll find a way. They're going to have to. And luckily for them, the next 3 games, they're against decent passing attacks. Don't get me wrong. Packers, Jordan Love's had 3 touchdowns in each of the first 2 games. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs have looked pretty prolific so far through 2 games. And the Patriots have had moments, but I don't think they're playing outside of, let's say, take the Packers on Sunday. I don't think they're going to play offenses that are going to stretch the ball down the field vertically at a high clip. The Patriots physically can't do it. And the Buccaneers take out a big Mike Evans play from last week. They haven't done it consistently with Baker Mayfield. And maybe that changes, but we haven't seen it yet. So we'll see what happens, guys. But again, Marcus Maye suspended for 3 games. Saints got to figure out a way to take on that next man up mentality and put it to good use. But that's going to wrap it up for this quick edition of the Straight Up Saints podcast. As always, make sure to subscribe to Boo Crew Media for more content like this. We also have Pelicans, LSU, Tulane, whatever you want. We got it here covered. And stay tuned for more Straight Up Saints content here at Boo Crew Media. So follow for more, and I'll be back soon.